Hello and welcome. I'm Jessie Ray and this is Chiron's Key Tarot. Thank you for joining me today for this reading. This is going to be a reading for the new moon in Sagittarius that is happening on Tuesday, December 12th. I'm going to read the Sabian symbol to kind of get a little overall feel of the energy, and then we will dive into the tarot cards. I will also be going live tomorrow, December 3rd at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to offer some free card pulls for anybody who is interested. So just subscribe to my channel, you can drop a comment, and I will pull a card for you, and I hope to see you there. So we are going to read the Sabian symbol for this new moon. And so a child and a dog with borrowed eyeglasses. This symbol speaks to the absence of any clear lines of separation between lower and higher life forms or levels of competency, and to the opportunities that this absence of clear division provides for curing and supplementing individual deficiencies. The image of a child with a dog with borrowed eyeglasses alludes to borrowed perspective, or an attempt to see things more clearly and experience the world through the eyes of another. Thus, it symbolizes curiosity, role play, and a desire for personal growth and higher knowledge. Ultimately, each person creates his reality through his own unique mode of perception and then acts out of it. And at the positive, in its highest, this symbol represents resourcefulness and using every possible means to find new opportunity. And the negative is the failure to see the obvious and lack of the objective. So for me, Sagittarius is a fire sign. It is the most mature of the fire signs. And it's also the archetype of the guru and the adventurer, opening their minds to newer perspectives, always looking for higher knowledge, and always wanting to be open to new things, open to new perspectives. So let's see what the cards have to say. But for me, this new moon is all about setting intentions and really dreaming big and staying with it, right? Like we don't just build something overnight. And so this energy is going to be unfolding for the next several months. And it's really important to stay focused on all of the little goals, all of the little things that you can do each day to get yourself to where you want to be. So there's a real sense of being adventurous, dreaming big, Sagittarius is a very optimistic sign as well. Always trying to see the positive. And I just really feel with this new moon energy, it's just it's a nice change from the new moon that we had in Scorpio not that long ago. And I just really feel a lot of positivity around being able to set intentions that really help us achieve our desires, our dreams, our goals. And it might not manifest overnight. We have to stay dedicated to our practices, dedicated to the objectives, but I really feel there's a lot of positive energy with this. King of Pentacles, Four of Wands, okay. So, Four of Swords, okay. And they do want me to read it in reverse, okay. So there's a sense of kind of coming out of hibernation, kind of healing some past traumas, kind of the optimism just really keeps coming to me. Being able to be optimistic about staying focused, seeing the bigger picture, right? Sagittarius does see the bigger picture. But in order to create the bigger picture, we have to do one paintbrush stroke at a time, right? Every single day is like a little tiny paintbrush stroke that then creates this big picture. So the Hanged Man, perfect way to start off this reading. Really looking at things from different perspectives, different angles. The Hanged Man talks to us about really stepping outside of what we think our own reality is, or what we think, what we know to be true, and really seeing something from a different angle, really seeing something from a different way. So there's a sense of really kind of taking that pause and being open to experiencing new ideas. And Seven of Cups, choices. This can be kind of like a little bit of rose-colored glasses But for me, I'm not picking up on that aspect of this card in this reading. This is just really about all the different possibilities and opportunities that we have available to us when we really stay optimistic, when we stay positive. And I don't mean false positivity, right? We're going to have our struggles. We're going to have our days where we're feeling a little bit off, but still being able to be grateful and seeing the silver lining in what that day has to offer through its challenges. So there's a sense of really being open, staying open, seeing the different possibilities, seeing everything that we have at our disposal to use, and be creative and thinking outside the box. And with the Wheel of Fortune here, this is a really awesome card. This talks about things working out in our favor, things, I almost kind of feel like karmic things being cleared away for some of us. And really the universe allowing us to, as we slowly move forward and as this wheel is slowly turning, that new things are going to start to happen. New possibilities, new opportunities, new ways of seeing things. And really being able to see that eventually, right? We got to give it a little bit of time. We're planting a seed. A seed doesn't sprout and grow in the next couple weeks. We really have to nourish that. But knowing that under the soil and that with planting this new seed, that things are starting to work out. Things are turning in our favor. There's positive things that are happening. And then with the Death card here being right out, it's like really shedding the old, right? Shedding the old ways that we used to tell ourselves that things wouldn't work out, the old narratives that we used to spin. There's really a sense of this rebirth, and they're kind of giving me all of that stuff that you need to shed is actually what's going to be the fertilizer to really grow all of these new things, the new ideas, the new things we want to learn. Sagittarius is all about higher education and learning and mentoring and teaching. So you could be potentially looking for a mentor right now. You could be going through like a really internal shift where you are asking somebody to help you shed all of this old stuff. It could be, any type of a healer. But there's a sense of taking all of these old ways and using it in almost like a very Scorpio way, right? Of kind of purging, cleansing, clearing, and using that old stuff to kind of grow this brand new seed, right? And using it as fertilizer as this wheel is just turning under the soil and really creating some new things for us. And Six of Swords, leaving behind old baggage that's holding us back. It's really kind of the thing with this is moving to calmer waters, but there's a sense of leaving that baggage behind and almost in a way clearing it, healing it, transmuting it and transforming it into something much more beautiful, much more that is in alignment with your highest good right now. And there could be a little bit of a battle. It's kind of a struggle, right? When we start new habits, it's really easy if we get discouraged to let those old habits come in. So I feel like the Seven of Swords here is a little bit of that warning that it can be challenging. One day we might be feeling really optimistic, and then the next day we might be feeling a little bit discouraged. And there's just a sense of really trusting this process and allowing when the emotions to come up, hold space for yourself and staying optimistic. On the days that I don't feel great, I just try to find a few things to be grateful for, try to tell myself, things that are going to be helpful to get me through the day. I acknowledge, okay, this is how I feel. I always start out saying, I don't feel like doing this today, or I don't feel great about this, or I'm feeling sad about this. And then I also at the same time say something I'm grateful for, say something that's made me happy recently. So I can really try to acknowledge all of the different emotions that come up. So that's what I mean about staying optimistic. It's not that we don't feel certain things sometimes. And Seven of Swords can kind of be that conflict. And I feel like it's a little bit more of, this internal conflict. And it's, as we move into newer ways of being, we can get discouraged really easy. Sometimes it feels weird when we start doing new habits. Sometimes it feels a little uncomfortable Kind of like when you start working out again and your muscles are sore, and then you're like, I don't want to work out because my muscles are sore. And being able to push past that in a loving way. Because this King of Wands here is letting me know that really at the end of the day, it's so important to stay focused on the things that we are passionate about. And I'm also kind of feeling like, working with a mentor, because this is a Sagittarius moon, working with somebody that really helps you achieve what you're passionate about, might give you a little bit of guidance if you want to open a business or something like that. Going and taking some classes with somebody that really helps to reignite that fire, makes things feel possible for you. Somebody that might be a little bit older than you, really allowing yourself to just be creative, be open, be artistic, however that is coming up for you, however that's resonating, and being able to look at things from that different perspective, right? Just really kind of being open to changing our own narrative. That's been coming up for me a lot too, personally. I kind of feel like I'm already feeling the energy of this new moon, and the cards I've been pulling for myself recently, really asking me to look at the own narrative that I tell myself on a daily basis, and really being open to kind of, to switch that, look at some different perspective. Okay, the Hanged Man over here, trying to see things from a different angle, and remaining positive and optimistic about things, even if I'm feeling really discouraged. King of Pentacles. I feel like what we are working towards, right, what each individual is working towards, is something that's a little bit more stable. It's grounded. Like King of Wands, it's fire energy, right? So Wands, fire, passion, desire. King of Pentacles is kind of this, I feel like both of these kings came out to say, it's like, yes, it's good to go and chase after your passions and your desires. Don't give up on that. Keep going towards that. And then the King of Pentacles is also reminding us again with this like Wheel of Fortune, and how I said about planting the seed. It's going to take time for things to grow. And the King of Pentacles, it's an earth sign. They're going to move a little bit slower. They're going to be very dedicated and patient and practical about the everyday things that they can do to get towards that bigger picture. Sagittarius really does look at the bigger picture sometimes, and sometimes can get a little bit lost when it comes to looking at all of the little daily details sometimes, because they're just so focused on what the big picture wants to be. So going back to those paintbrush strokes, okay, the King of Pentacles is going to be really good about planning each day and being able to just do that one thing, and being okay with having it be that one thing that you do that gets you towards that goal. So there's a sense of, being very inspired, but not getting discouraged because it's going to take time. Like I said, new seeds, they don't grow overnight, and you won't see it sprout for a while, but doing that work on a daily basis, it eventually is going to come to fruition, because here at the very end, we've got the Four of Wands here, and that's stability, and it's celebration. It's also can be like the card of marriage. For right now, the energy that's coming through is, working towards something that's very stable. And you got to take time to build that house, right? Each day you lay down a few bricks, you got to let it dry, you come back, you lay down a few more bricks. If you try to build that house too fast, it's going to crumble. It's not going to be as solid as if you were to take your time, be patient, nurture it on a daily basis, stay optimistic about the outcome, but just know that things are going to take time. Because that's what this Four of Wands is. Very stable energy. We're building something stable. If you want it to be stable and last, we have to take our time with it. But the Four of Wands is still also talking about that fire energy, that passion, that desire, that wanting to go for things that really light us up inside and really make us feel good, right? About who we are, sharing our ideas, sharing our creative side with the world, but build it in that stable way. And there's just kind of this sense of coming out of this space of resting, recouping, And now with this, new moon in Sagittarius, there's this fire energy, there's this adventure, there's this calling for, going after this creative thing that we want to do. There's lots of change. There's been lots of change in the air for the last few months. I feel like Spirit and the universe has really been asking us all to really kind of reevaluate where we're at in our lives and our relationships and our jobs, and really kind of clearing things out of the way to get us to a space where we have time, energy, and like emotional strength to really go after things that we are passionate about. Well, that was quick. Okay, I make a difference. I was going to pull a little affirmation card for the end of this reading. This is Fox under the moon. So I make a difference. So even with those small changes, I feel like thinking about how all of those small changes on a daily basis will eventually turn into that bigger difference, okay? Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. If anything in this message resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. And tomorrow, December 3rd at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be here live and offering free card pulls for anybody that wants to join me. Take care, and I hope to see you there.